Well, greetings, everybody. I actually stumbled upon a very interesting video. It's called Which Foods Are Ultra Processed? You Might Be Surprised. And this is from the channel of Scientific American. It's only a minute long, and I watched maybe like the first 20 seconds. And what this video does is it lines up maybe like 3 or 4 items, and they ask you to guess which food is ultra processed or it has been processed more than all the other foods lined up with one another. Um, I thought this would be interesting to do like a reaction video or to share with people and also try to guess along with I don't know with the video, and then show some articles about interesting things I read about processed foods or sugar that's added into a lot of food in supermarkets. But first, let's just start the video. Our food comes in many forms, that's true. Ultra processed foods could be linked with obesity. All right. All right, so this is the place where they line up all these foods, and then you have to guess which one is ultra processed. Now, I've seen this one, and I don't know how many times they actually do this. I'm not going to tell you the answer, but you should already know what the answer is. The answer is fucking C. Okay, the answer is C, but let's just continue to watch it. Yeah, the answer is C because it's filled with so much. Well, let me just let the fucking video play. Oop. I haven't seen this one, but okay. So there's Goya, chickpeas, garbanzos, fusion jerky, Cliff chocolate chip, Five Boroughs Brewing. Which one would I assume? I haven't seen this one. Which one would I think is more processed? I would naturally think that chocolate chip is the most processed, but I'm not sure. I would think beer would be processed more than chocolate chip cookies. Damn, this is a good one. I'm going to say, I mean, jerky's processed as well, but I don't think it's A. I think it's possibly B. I'm going to say B. Final answer B. Oh shit. Your boy knows his stuff. Your boy, I haven't seen this part and I haven't seen the rest of it. Let's see what the next one is. Alright, so we have early harvest petite peas, Cento tuna, uncured petite ham, and Stonefield organic. Okay, I'm gonna naturally assume it has to be B or C because you have to put a lot of preservatives in meat in order for it to stay fresh. And it has to be B or C. I would say B because with a lot of canned food, I think you put more preservatives into them. But at the same time with ham, I know they put a lot of stuff into ham. They put like a lot of antibiotics and all these other chemicals to preserve them in order for it to not to, rot. But at the same time, I'm going to say C. I'm going to say C with this one. C, final answer. D, holy shit. Stonefield again. I was sort of feeling that it was D, but at the same time it said organic, so I naturally thought to myself it couldn't be that processed. But I know like with a lot of these yogurts, they try to make it seem like it's healthy because they add bits of fruit into it, but they also inject a lot of sugar into it, and this is something I want to talk about later on after this video. So that's interesting. Okay. Let's continue to go. Yep, the yogurt did. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video. I could drop a link to this, but you pretty much just watched the entire video. But I did want to actually go and show you some other articles about this. Other articles about just sugar or basically sugar or foods that have a lot of sugar in it. So there's this article from Berkeley Wellness, and it says that 2/3 of all packaged foods and beverages contain added sugar, according to a study in the CMAJ Open that looked at more than 40,000 products found in major Canadian grocery stores. The researchers looked for 30 different sugar terms on ingredients lists, from sucrose to fructose to corn syrup and dextrose to honey, molasses, agave fruit juice concentrate. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of these companies are getting really smart nowadays. Instead of just having high fructose corn syrup, they'll change it to just fructose or sucrose, or they'll change it to like cane sugar because it sounds more healthier, or just it doesn't sound like what's being portrayed, or what I don't want to say portrayed. What thing is considered bad? Like molasses, you wouldn't think molasses is bad. However, it is still added sugar, and they do it to make these food taste better. I remember watching a documentary. I don't remember what it was called, but they were telling me. I remember the documentary said it was like somewhere around like 80% of grocery items have added sugar in them. But this one says like 66%. I actually went to the article right here. I'm going to drop this in the link. Let me try to read over here. Okay, let me see the read. So it says, added sugar in packaged foods and beverages available at a major Canadian retailer in 2015, a descriptive analysis. Let me just read the results. Overall, 66% of packaged food products analyzed contained at least one added sugar. The added sugar term sugar and its variations appeared the most frequently, followed by dextrose. Added sugar presence and total sugar content varied with many product categories, but were consistently higher in expected categories such as beverages. Mean total sugar content was significantly higher in products with added sugar than those without. Another thing I wanted to say is, actually, I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, they inject a lot of sugar in foods that you don't even expect them to have. Like, for example, salad dressings. You don't expect salad dressings or tomato sauce, or, well, bread obviously has sugar. If most people didn't know, yes, they inject sugar into it to make it taste better. But you would not naturally think those things would contain sugar. And if sugar is the thing that makes you smell worse, like, you gotta stay away from a lot of food. Now, again, to be fair, this is a Canadian, they got it from a Canadian supermarket, but I don't think America is any different, especially when you take into consideration the obesity rates in America. I think we're like the fattest. We're one of the fattest countries in the world. So I do want to just share this one other article from Senator, I guess Senator Donna Nessel-Busch. 3/4 of processed food have genetically modified organisms. So this is a very long article. Let me just stay here. We contacted the Center for Food Safety and Advocacy group critical of biotechnology, which told PolitiFact National in 2017 that 60 to 70% of processed foods contain at least some residual genetically modified organisms. We asked their numbers came from. Spokeswoman Abigail Saylor said that they came from Grocery Manufacturers Association, a trade group opposed to labeling for products manufactured through genetic modification. The latest Grocery Association statement says 70-80% of the foods we eat in the United States, both at home and away from home, contain ingredients that have been genetically modified. When we heard back from Nessel-Busch, she cited the same statement as her evidence. We noted that the percentage is on target, but her characterization wasn't. The Grocery Association says it's 7 to 80% of all foods we consume. She said it applies to processed foods in a grocery store. The Federal and Drug Administration defines processed foods as raw agricultural commodities that have been subject to canning, cooking, freezing, dehydration, or milling. Processed foods also include any foods that are not raw agricultural commodities under the FDA's legal definition. It turns out that there's little consistency in how the estimate is used. For example, Whole Foods in 2010, citing the Groceries Association, said GMOs are now present in 75 to 80% of conventional processed food in the US. We're not sure if they are unconventional processed foods. And where does this Grocery Association get its figure? Well, I'm not going to read all this, but yeah, within this article is basically saying that, yeah, majority of the foods that you eat within the grocery store are processed. They have been processed. And not that's just because certain things are processed doesn't mean it's bad for you. Um, but there are a lot of companies that do inject more ingredients, more chemicals into their food in order for it to have more flavor and also for it to be more addictive. Maybe I'll share an article about that. But I just wanted to share this video that I thought was interesting and also share this article and the research paper that the article was referring to. Because if you do smell worse because of sugar, then I got bad news for you. Apparently, a huge bulk of food within supermarkets make you smell terrible or just worsen your health. In any case, I'm gonna end it right here.